always said this, and ever since it was revealed how powerful Escanor really was. And a lot of people haven't really agreed with me, but you really need to agree with me now on saying this. Escanor is the ultimate irony. He even lampshades it in this final page. Escanor is the ultimate irony. And what do I mean by the ultimate irony? He is the ultimate irony because he is a human. The one species that every other species look down on for being weak, cowardly, and anything else. And he is the mightiest of them all. Because now we see the true power of Escanor. The true power that he only gets activated for 1 minute at the peak of noon. And according to Merlin, at that peak, his power could truly be called the One, or in other languages, invincible. For just 1 minute, for I presume that once after that minute the sun will go down and then he will only get weaker. It seems for 1 minute. I mean, what I meant to say is Nakaba, since San have always said that Escanor's powers is immeasurable, which, by the way, seems to hint that it's now. I mean, not. So maybe one could say once it reaches noon, then his power is truly immeasurable. Yes, this is the Nanatsu no Taizai, and this is the second chapter, 232. We got 2 chapters this week. And this chapter, well, this one was all about awesome, as we finally got to see the true power of Escanor after despair last before. As we see that Meliodas' true power as the leader of the Ten Commandments was something to be feared, Escanor keeps on fighting. And even though Meliodas counters his cruel son with his full counter and many things more, they still fight. Even a demonic voice saying, that's just a little bit more. I still don't exactly know what that... what is that voice, though? There's some voice who's saying, that is it, just a little more. Either that is Escanor saying it, or is that the Demon King? Well, we shouldn't get so high of it. Either way, the fight continues with some amazing movements. However, the fight of ultimate despair surprisingly turns into a surprise for the ultimate evil that is Ten Commandments Meliodas, as even though he still hurts Escanor, the more and more he fights him, the more and more his attacks proves to be useless. And finally, Escanor lands powerful hits on Meliodas. But of course, seeing that the Ten Commandment Meliodas is practically immortal, he is still not enough to defeat him. But here, the Ten Commandments Meliodas reveal something interesting. It's not exactly that interesting, but for me it is interesting, because this seems to further hint why his kind hate him so much. After all, a lot of them hate him for his betrayal, but I have always said that I have a suspicion that Zeldaris' hate for Meliodas is more for the fact that he just betrayed them. I mean, Estarosa said he loved Meliodas' carnage, so well, it could very well been here too. But Ten Commandments Meliodas acknowledges Escanor's strength, even though he has successfully knocked him down. And what he says is, "You have entertained me more than expected. I haven't had this fun fighting since I fought my dear younger brother and my brethren." That seems to imply that Ten Commandments Meliodas was a big brother bully. Or maybe it was just fighting for sport. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Zeldaris' hate for Meliodas is more of the fact that of simple sibling rivalry. If you think about it, if Ten Commandment Meliodas was this strong, then there is no way Zeldaris was this as powerful as him. I think that maybe he resented Meliodas for being too powerful, and that resentment turned to blind hate when, of course, he suddenly decided to change his ways. He decides to spare Escanor because, well, he is too an interesting interesting person. But then the 1 minute comes as noon appears, and when it's in high noon, it reaches its peaks. Escanor's power becomes truly invincible, and that unlocks his true power, the One. I mean, if we didn't think Escanor was a god, then I'll say he is a god now because he's burning with sun power. He is colossal, and his eyes have sun-like patterns. I mean, I'm serious. Just how did Escanor get born with this power? There is no way that this power gets born to him just because he was a human. There's gotta be another reason for this mighty power. Or in fact, why is it that the power only is affected by the sun rising? Is it for the fact that the sun controls Escanor's power, and therefore, if you think about it, the sun is the mightiest thing of all? Or is it something else? I mean, I'm really curious on how such power exists. The Ten Commandments Meliodas just laugh at that as he activates his true, well, more true power in trying to kill Escanor. But true to Merlin's words, when he is in high peak, not even an attack by the Ten Commandments is enough. But one attack from the high peak, the one Escanor, called Divine Sword Escanor, is enough to nearly cut Ten Commandments Escanor in half. Well, that is so impressive! It's just so, if you think about it, I think it's true though that Zeldaris have the power to nullify magic, but still, wonder if the High Noon, the one Escanor, could really be the mightiest living creature of all. Maybe the only ones who can defeat the High Noon is the top gods, and would be the Demon King and the Supreme Deity. And then as the Ten Commandments Escanor, what we presume collapse, we shouldn't consider that he has collapsed yet, because after all, if I know despair, it is very likely we're gonna get despair again. And we also see a picture of Elizabeth. I guess she wants to save Meliodas. Wouldn't surprise me if she wants to save Meliodas, but not Escanor. But what about that thing I said in the beginning, when I said that Escanor was the ultimate irony? It's his words here that just further proves my point. He says it to the god of demons, which was the Ten Commandments Meliodas, the one that everyone's presumed to be succeeded, the Demon King. How does it feel to be looked down by a human? That is why I always say that Escanor is the ultimate irony. Because it's true. Every species, I think even a goddess, will be looked down by Escanor because he's just that powerful. However, they said he is invincible for 1 minute, and now the sun will begin to go down, so I think he's gonna lose his powers. And was that one attack just enough to destroy the Ten Commandments Meliodas? Who knows? But now it seems the only ones who can satisfy all this must be Elizabeth. But next chapter is actually quite despairing. It says damage. Is it that gonna very likely say that the damage that Escanor has taken is actually more severe than we think? Or is that for Meliodas? Who knows? All in all, unlike last chapter, this one was nothing but pure awesome. And I greatly enjoyed it. And it's, as I said before, this also seems to give more hints on why the Ten Commandments Meliodas was so feared. He was indeed a sadistic monster, and I think he was a big brother bully. But how the hell did he change his ways just by a living thought of Elizabeth? And how the hell did such power get in Escanor? Currently, they are the most interesting people around there. But you'd give me your thoughts if you have any.